All
And
right.
Marianne, I'm the author of the Intro to Software Technology Standards. I helped write it.
Woohoo. We have a star. Awesome. Yeah, if you'd like to, awesome. Oh, I just read that. I just scrolled so I could see it. Excellent.
Okay, you're just around the corner. I'm in Fayette, so you're just a little northwest of me.
Excellent. Marianne, I'm glad you mentioned that. I was just telling Chip that I couldn't remember where you were from. I've talked to you enough times and I thought, where's she from? And if you'd like to, and Rudolph, if you'd like to give us any more info about anything, you sure can. We'd love to know backgrounds. Have you used CodeHS before? Oh, awesome.
I'm actually new to it. I was in math. I tried to facilitate an AP computer science course a couple times, but I didn't actually have it set up as a class for whatever reason. So it was kind of difficult. And they were using a different system. It wasn't CodeHS at the time.
Oh, okay. And are you trying CodeHS this year then?
Yes, we're using CodeHS this year.
Perfect. Okay.
I don't know about the Exploring Computer Science, if that's through CodeHS. Though.
Okay. Well, if you've got questions about it, definitely reach out. That's something that I'm very familiar with. And I'll make sure, well, you will have my email since I'll send the follow-up, but I'll drop it in there too. I'm more than happy to help. It's a great course. I think the tricky thing for me was that the programming part suggested using Scratch. And many of my students came to me already, of course, knowing Scratch. And so I switched to CodeHS for that. And then I also, for the web design portion, instead of using a different editor, I went with web design on CodeHS. And then eventually I just moved over to computing ideas and started using that and rolled in some of my own ECS content too. So
Rudolph, you said you started in DeKalb. Where in DeKalb County?
Let's see, I was Salem Middle School for like a hot second.
Okay.
And
because I'm a Tucker High grad.
The other one, because I was only there for a couple months.
Okay. Are you still in Georgia?
No, actually, I'm in Delaware now.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome.
I was there right before the Praxis Gates switch over.
Okay. I know the time frame, yeah.
Definitely.
Got a couple more.
Yep, getting a few more people joining us. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and toss that attendance link back into chat. So if you're just joining us, you can go ahead and click that attendance link, codehs.com/custom-attend. And that's going to let me send you a certificate of attendance for the workshop tonight. You should see that probably, I think I'll do that right away in the morning. Unless I do it tonight. I still might do it tonight when we're done. It's so fast. All right. So welcome, everybody. I think we're going to go ahead and get started. If some more people are joining us, great. But I want to be able to give Chip as much time as I can and give all of you time to try out some of the really cool things he's got for you tonight. So I'm very excited about this workshop. So my name is Lori, and I am a PD specialist here at CodeHS. I've been here a little over, about 2.5 years now. And prior to that, I was actually in the classroom for 20 years. I was a K-12 district technology coordinator for all 20 of those years. And for about 10 of those years, I was also a high school computer science teacher. And I got to teach things like ECS, AP-CSP, never got to do AP-CSA, could not get kids to do it. Lots of Python, I did do a little Java, JavaScript, web design, a lot of things. Whatever the kids wanted, I tried to give them. And I was a CodeHS teacher. So I love being here, love talking to you about CodeHS, and I especially love hearing how other teachers use CodeHS. So I have Chip Kramlich with us tonight. He is one of our amazing computer science teachers, and he does so much in Georgia with computer science. You are just a rock star. And we are just privileged to have him as a CodeHS teacher trainer as well. So he brings us some amazing workshops. So I am so glad you are all here with us tonight. Let's go ahead and go to the next slide. Okay, so we have a series of links. This might be the best link if you want to have everything. Whoop, I'm going to go ahead and try to do that one more time. You know, I did put these so I could just copy paste. No, I'm typing them anyway. But if you go ahead and click on that link that I just threw in chat, codehs.com/custom-questions, that's going to go ahead and open up the question parking lot. And it also has links that you might want from tonight's workshop, including the link to the slides. That is not even correct. Yeah, questions. This is the question one, not the slide one. So I just read what I wrote there. I did not double check myself. I'll fix that. But this is the question parking lot, and this will give you access to the links that we'll be using tonight. And if you've got questions that might, if you can certainly use chat. We're a small enough group, or you can even unmute. That's fine too. But if there's something I might need to go back and ask about, I will go ahead and drop those into the question parking lot too. So feel free to add anything there too. Let's go ahead and go to that next one. All right, here's the actual slide link now. So if you'd like to access the slides directly, you can grab the link from that question parking lot, or you can grab them from this page as well. CodeHS.com. Whoops. /custom-slides. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and go to the next one. Okay, now if you do not have a CodeHS account, it is very easy to get one set up. And if you are in a place where you can set it up tonight, or at least sign into CodeHS with your educator account, you will want to do that, because Chip is going to have a really interactive workshop for you tonight. And it's pretty cool to see all the stuff he's going to show you tonight. So if you don't have an account, head out to codehs.com/sign up to create one. And let me know if you don't have one. You can just drop me a message in chat. Because if you are just setting one up for the first time, I will get you through that verification process a little bit faster, so you have access to those solutions. All right, let's go to the next slide. Okay, now this one, I'm not going to attempt to type any of these in, but I will grab these out of my question parking lot. So once you sign in to CodeHS, what we would like for you to do is to join our workshop section. Now, if you've been in other workshops with us, you might think this is looking a little different. Well, that's because you're going to be joining this section as a teacher, not a student, because we want you to have access to some of those cool things that Chip is going to show us tonight. So again, if you don't have a teacher account, you can go ahead and create one. Once you have your account, go ahead and sign in. And you can click on codehs.com/join_class_teacher, and you'll enter the join code that I've got in chat for you, 852E1D. And that is going to let you join the course, join the section as a teacher. And I'm just going to go back to that section real quick. And if you're having any trouble with it, let me know. Oh, there we go. Marianne's in. Cool. And this is nothing magic on our end. This is actually something that any of you can do. Something I used to do too. I often would co-teach. I see Barry. Perfect. I often would co-teach with other teachers from remote parts of my state. I'm actually coming to you from South Dakota, so everything's remote. But it was a great way to actually get our kids in the same section and actually co-teach with another computer science teacher. So excellent. I think we're good. And I think at this point, I think we're through all the basic logistics. So Chip, I'm going to let you take it away, my friend. Thank you.
So let me go ahead and just introduce me again. Chip Kramlich. I worked in industry for 20 years. This is my 14th year teaching, of which 12 has been in computer science. I teach here in Georgia. I teach the intro to software technology, AP Computer Science Principles, AP Computer Science A, and Programming, Games, Apps, and Society. So those are some of the courses that we have now. What I'm going to do tonight is we're going to actually look at actually customizing CodeHS, and the most of this will actually be focused in on actually creating custom quizzes. I have to give CodeHS a really big thumbs up for what they've done over the past 2 years in allowing teachers to really customize what we can actually use. It's gone from just being a platform to actually code on to actually being a LMS. So you can actually do most of your stuff. Have assignments out there, have material for students to read, and what we're going to focus on tonight is custom quizzes. So the first thing is, if you're going to create your own modules, and that's what we're going to look at first, how do you go about doing it? So if you look at, and I'll actually show this live in just a second. I'm just going to the slides first. We have a little button on the screen that says add for any course. So if you are a teacher in a course, you can click add, and that will add a module. Consider a module being a unit. So if you want a new unit, you just kind of click the add button, give it your own name, as you can see here, unit 1 custom quiz demo. If you want to add a little image for that module, CodeHS has a lot of them that they've added for what they've got, but you can do your own custom ones and just click in the browse. I haven't done that part yet because, again, just getting the material out there is enough. It's like if I ever get time, I'll go back and do the custom images for my own units. So fairly simple, just click add and then you click create. Now, once you got that module out there, you need to add lessons. So what you'll see as soon as you have your module, you have a new little thing, add lesson. You click on add lesson. That's going to bring up this new box that will have your lesson there. Here we can see it's custom quiz lesson. And then right there, you'll see the lesson is empty, add new assignment. In your assignments, we'll see in a second, you can add various different types. And as I've got highlighted here, what we're looking at is adding the quiz. So now all the quizzes are multiple choice quizzes. If you need something that's more short answer or something like that, you're probably going to have to do something else. For short answer, you can always do free response assignments. They won't really be part of a quiz, but it'll be something separate. Now, so you're creating quizzes. Once you do the quiz, you're going to create your own question. And you click on create quiz, you're going to get the quiz title, and then you have your create your new question link. And if you're familiar with most other LMSs, it's kind of the same kind of thing. You type in your question, you give your responses. Now CodeHS defaults with just 2, so you can do like true, false really easily, yes, no questions. Then you can add more responses as needed, and just click the little radio button for the one that is correct answer, and then you select create. So let's go ahead and look at what that actually looks like in the actual editor itself. And I've got to change here, jump over here. So here we are in the course that where everybody's in. So I'm going to go through that whole process again. I'm going to click on add. I'm going to select module, give it a title. We'll do this custom unit 1 custom quiz. Okay, and I click create. So here's our new unit. It comes up and we see it, and we're going to go ahead and click add new lesson. Lesson will be custom quiz demo. And we click create. Now, once we've got that lesson done, we see it. Now you can add more lessons. Just click add new lesson, you can add, so you can fill out a whole module this way. But your lesson is empty. So by default, you click the add new assignment. And from here, what we're looking at is coding exercises, which you're all familiar with. There are some restrictions with this. Again, it needs to be more open-ended, like sandbox style. If you want something that's auto-graded, they're very specific on that, and that's actually practice problems. There are some CodeHS videos, and I think they'll even have more presentations later this year dealing with auto-graded assignments. You embed videos, take the article, be careful with article. I've had some things where, because if you're embedding an article, you have to get permission from the actual website owner. So some stuff's not really available and it won't really embed. Just be aware of that. Notes, if you have your lecture notes, for your response, you can embed something else, but we're going to look at quiz. Okay, so new assignment up here. I'm going to go ahead and call this just custom quiz with markdown. and we'll talk about Markdown in just a little bit. Oops, I spelled correctly tonight. Now, create a new question, and here's the same thing that was in the slide. So you can go ahead and give it a question. What? Program history. So if I'm doing a simple little question here, and I could just do something like oops. So I click on that. Okay. And the correct answer would be, of course, Ada Lovelace, if you know anything about computer history. Now, the other choices we can add are optional, so we can do up to 5. If you are doing something like for APCS principles, you know the AP exam there is multiple choice with 4 responses. If you're doing something like APCSA, trying to get it for something like that, the response is typically 5, so you do all 5. At this point, I go ahead and I click Create, and I've now got a question. Now, you can go back into the question by clicking the little pencil, and you go back and edit it. You've got a tab here to preview it, so it will show you what it actually looks like with the correct answer. There is some things that sometimes don't work right if you go back and edit. And if I go back to say this is the first, I say this is female. That's spelled correctly. And I hit save. Hopefully this works correctly. Nope, that's what I want you to see. So you may have to go back in a second time and make the change, and then click save. And hopefully it takes that time. Yeah, there it goes. And that's just one little peculiarities, but again, something that's easy to work through. So we can add that, and then we've got that. Just hit close there. We've got that. We can add a new question. Now, more likely you're going to do questions dealing with programming. And this is where it's something that is where this editor actually does a good job on. So let's say I'm going to put some Python code here. So I do like for I in range 5 print low. And then it's like, you know, have them do the output, whatever it be like. Or if I want to I'm just going to do that. It may not be right, but again, this would be the answer. So which one they would actually choose and click create. Now, when we look at that question, what you'll notice is it didn't keep the indentation. So this is something that we're going to look at, which is what's actually called Markdown. So I need to be able to format my questions and get it to work. And I'm going to create one more question and show you why Markdown is really going to be helpful. In my intro class, I'm currently teaching web design. So if I want to do questions dealing with web, we use Schoology, and I have issues with trying to create HTML questions with Schoology because you're embedding HTML inside of HTML and things get kind of confused. So let me just show you what something like that would look like. Close that, and create one more, and just do a simple little HTML. And again, tab doesn't work right. Thanks. It jumps to the next one. So body slash HTML. Okay, so I've just got like the basic skeleton for an HTML thing. And just here, you know, what would be output? Nothing. Okay, and I'm going to choose as the correct answer. Now, when I save this, watch what happens when we actually look at it. Nothing shows up. And this is the problem. If you want to do some stuff where it's coding and you're just typing it in, the browser is actually interpreting it as real HTML. It's looking at it as it's almost like an iframe, and it's going to try to interpret it, and you don't get anything. So this is where part of custom quizzes you'll have this feature, which we'll look at in just a second. So let's go ahead and go back to the slides and go through that piece. So formatting with Markdown. Markdown it's a simple little way of actually doing HTML without really doing HTML. It's used extensively in a lot of different areas. If you've ever been on GitHub and you've ever looked at the readme.md file, that is written in Markdown. Your browser, some browsers have this typically interpreted for you. Typically, it's kind of done on the back end, and then it just pushes out the HTML so the browser actually interprets it, which is how CodeHS is actually doing it. So it's a really cool shortcut way of doing it. You don't have to be an expert in HTML and CSS to do any of this. I've got some tables here you can look at. I've also got some great links for you to go to get some more information on Markdown. So if I want to create a heading, instead of doing the HTML, encapsulating my header inside H1 tags, I just do a single hashtag, and then whatever I type is going to be an H1. It's going to be in that main heading. Double hashtag, that's just a subheading. Triple hashtag, subheading. If I want something in bold, I just put 2 asterisks on both sides of it. If I want to do it italic, a single asterisk on both sides. So again, makes it a little easier. Now, want to do a line in between things, horizontal rule, 3 dashes. If you have a segment of text, you want, maybe a piece of text from an article. You can do it as a block quote, just do a little right and greater than symbol and put the text there, and it'll actually be in the block code. If you want to do hyperlinks, square bracket, text you're going to link with, and then parentheses with the actual link. So it's kind of, for the hyperlink, it's reversed to what HTML actually does. For HTML, you have the href, and then the URL. Here we're doing the text, and then we're doing the URL. And images, kind of the same way, but you put that exclamation point right in front. Okay, now comes the part where you're really probably going to be using stuff like this, which is the lists. We always are putting lists of things out there. So instead of doing the full HTML list, all you do is preface each item with a dash. Anything that's got a dash in front of it becomes a bullet. So those are bulleted lists. Numbered lists, this is a little interesting also. The example here is showing 1 period, 2 period, 3 period to give you 1, 2, and 3. All you have to do is just do 1 period, and then next line down, 1 period, next line down, 1 period. So you could really just copy 1 line and paste it over and over again. You don't really have to number it. It will auto number it for you. Okay, and this is the part that's going to make it shine, which is actually using the code feature. So that's not an apostrophe. That's actually a tick. So it's right there above the tab key where the tilde is, right underneath your escape button. That's the one we're talking about, that backwards apostrophe. So it's 3 of those. If you don't put anything right after the 3 back ticks, it's just going to do it as code. It's not going to highlight. The great thing here is if you put the actual language, it will actually do the code highlighting, and it will actually work really well. This is something HTML doesn't do. So what we'll do is we'll look at some of this right now in the actual editor. So let's go back to my quiz. I'll tell you what, yeah, let me do this. And then I'm going to give you guys time to actually edit. Try creating your own. So let's go back to that HTML one. Again, nothing's here. Then I may have to actually do this a couple times. But all I have to do now is I'm going to get a blank line there. 3 backticks, say HTML. Go to the end of my code. And then 3 backticks. And if this works, save. So I'm going to have to edit one more time just to make sure it takes. Save this time. There we go. And now you can see it's actually formatted. It's color encoded, so it's showing what are actual tags and what aren't. Now, if I actually go and I do the indentation with spaces, again, don't use tabs. Tabs will jump to the next window, so it doesn't really work. Again, certain editors are this way when you're dealing with web. Tab doesn't work, just hit spaces. But we can do that. So let's say we add a new question. I'm going to go ahead and save for now. And just so I don't lose anything, there it goes. And go ahead and close that out. And create question. And I'm going to go back in just a second. So let's say you're actually writing some Python code. And I'm going to go ahead and do 3. Let's go. X equals input. X. Okay. And just 3, just give me some answers there and they say false. Just so we can see. Now, I forgot one thing. I have to put 3 backticks at the end of it. I click create. And now when I come here, we get the Python code. So let's go back and actually do some edits to that one. Because it's showing you how to actually code it. But what if I want to actually say, you know, I've got the question about what does the code do? So I've got that, but I've got it above the 3 backticks. And we got there. Now, okay, but I want it to stand out where it's the same size as the actual code. So I come back here, do a little markup. Let's say I do a double hashtag, so heading to a second heading. And underneath it, I'm going to do a horizontal rule. And I click create. Got this one. I got to go back to the end. Yeah, so hashtag. There we go. So now you can see it's a little better. So you can actually do this kind of edit. And again, if you want to embed links in it, if you want to embed pictures, it's all part of what we've got there. So at this point, you guys have seen what it can do. I want you guys to actually do it. If you have questions, post them in the chat. Lori and I'll keep an eye on that. But again, if you need a little help with doing something, go ahead. What I'd like you to do is go ahead from this point, create your own module. So go ahead and click add. And then once you've got your own module, create your own lesson. And inside your lesson, create your own quiz. And we'll give you about 5-10 minutes. I'll just monitor from this side.
Excellent. I like how you're diving in already. That's great.
I've always felt it's best to do hands-on learning.
Absolutely.
My students today, when I was out, they were actually working in the programming games apps. I had them just do an explore. Gave them the basics on how to actually get some LEDs to light up. And for their task today, it's like, give me a way of getting these things to actually do some kind of light pattern. Yeah, you learn best by playing with it, figuring it out for yourself.
I could not agree more.
We got 1 unit. Let's see. Web search. Okay. Inside there, you've got assignments. So again, you create the unit, then you go in and you can create your quiz. Refreshing what we've got here. If you need some help, just let us know.
If you are looking for a way to get some handy dandy little logos, one of my sneaky tricks is I go out to the CodeHS course catalog and grab them from there. I promise we will not get upset with you for doing that. So feel free.
Yeah, because you're still using it inside of CodeHS, so you're not really, hopefully not violating copyright.
It's not the multiple choice, it's the free response.
You'll have quiz. So if you look back, what I've got when I come here to, I'll do a new one. When I click add new assignment, the item we want is where it says, it's the second one down, says quiz, create a multiple choice quiz for your students to take.
All right. I was just making sure it was the multiple choice one.
Yeah, the free response is just literally it's free response, but it's only a single free response. You can have multiple questions in there because if you've done other CodeHS lessons, if you looked at some of the stuff where they've done, they may have in the side panel 3 questions there, and this is something I have to give CodeHS. They've done a lot with this year. If they have 3 questions in the actual exercise, they actually have 3 prompts in the actual editor, so the students know to answer each individual one. That way, when you're grading using a fast grader or regular grading, you can grade the individual questions much easier. While you guys work, there's one thing I did is a few years ago, typically during Black History Month, when you're dealing with technology and you want to introduce something, because, and this is something I tell my students, like when I worked in industry, just about everybody looked like me, white and male. So trying to find individuals to actually show students, and I work at a school where it's extremely diverse. We have African Americans, Hispanics, Asians. I wanted them to see that you can do this also. So I started showing hidden figures, specifically trying to get more girls interested in computer science. So I just had, CodeHS. I did a custom quiz and had them, we watched part of it one day. So they went into CodeHS. They did multiple choice based off the certain things that they should have identified in the movie as they're watching it. It's a good way of doing it this way. It's all encapsulated inside of CodeHS, and I could just take that feed and load it into my gradebook from there. Got more practice in Prac 1. Okay.
Yep, every time I watch that movie, and I think anytime I happen to run across it, I watch it. That's what I think of. Is how you use that. I've talked about it often.
I wish there was more. I mean, it's like, other famous ones like Ada Lovelace, the very first programmer. She worked with Charles Babbage. So that's something else to highlight. Grace Hopper, of course, working with government, and has a whole computer center named after her. And start looking at that, but then you start thinking of names before pre-Bill Gates names. And the only one you really come up with male-wise is Alan Turing. Maybe John von Neumann, but beyond that, we don't get many names.
Well, Marianne was in the field in 1973. Cool.
Oh, wow. I started programming in 1980, somewhere around there. Yeah, we were doing mainframes, and then my junior year, the school got some Apple II computers and worked from there. Yep. dealing with either punch cards or mark cards. My first program I wrote at school was done on mark cards. We read through a card reader. Okay, so you guys have any questions? Keep my chopper. Okay, so you use those old big terminals to do the cards. What are you guys feeling about custom quizzes so far? Any questions about like Markdown? Okay, I'm going to finish up with the Markdown stuff. If you guys still want to work, you can listen. Again, you got access to the slide presentations. Now, Markdown, there's a bunch of different versions of it, but the stuff I've got in the slide presentation here works with just about every version. So we have the language specification link there, so if you want to know more about it, quick reference to the tutorial, that's the best one to go to, so commonmark.org/help. Markdown guide is a great site also. I would recommend bookmarking the Markdown cheat sheet. That's going to be one you want to just, you're working on a custom quiz and you don't really remember it, just have it that pop it open a new tab and you'll have it. Wikipedia does have some good examples also of how Markdown works. So as you can see back from here, it's much easier to do instead of just HTML. Markdown, it's got its, you have to make sure the web application you're using supports Markdown. So most of the stuff that we, like GitHub is where I see it more than anything else. GitHub is a major user of it. I think Replit.com does it in some spots. But again, CodeHS is using it for their side, so it makes it much easier to actually, again, format things the way you want them to be formatted instead of just everything being the same font size, doing nothing else but that. Just to give you an idea of what some of the examples are, let's go ahead and look at the Wikipedia thing. So here what they're showing is kind of gives you kind of what I was looking at mine, but they actually show what it looks like. So you're doing a heading and subheading, you get the hashtags, and it shows up bold. Again, we can make it bold and italic. They have some things that are a little different when they're doing Markdown. Again, it depends on how the Markdown works. Yeah, so Markdown, okay, it's becoming more prevalent in a lot more spots, and again, it's easier to use than HTML. So they've got some. Again, it does vary a little bit based off what version of Markdown they're doing or whose version of Markdown they're actually working with. Okay, so that's what I got for my presentation. Hopefully you learned some. Again, if you have questions, we're gonna be here to answer, work you guys through some stuff.
Yeah, if you have any questions at all, or any questions even about the customization part of it, we have some time. And so if there's something that you would want to know, we could certainly walk through any of that.
If you want to know how to modify a module, there are some lessons you don't want, some lessons you do want, how to add in more modules.
Oh, Marianne, thank you for being here.
Well, hopefully I didn't overload you too much. Again, it was, it's a very focused PD today, so it shouldn't have been too bad.
I think this is always something that I wish I had available to me when I was using CodeHS. But when I was still in the classroom, I didn't have this capability. And I always thought, oh, why can't I just add my own quiz here? And now we can. All right. Are there any questions from anyone? And if you think of something afterwards, please don't hesitate to reach out to us and let us know. You've got my email address, so definitely send me an email anytime, and I'm happy to help. We have a fabulous support team who is so fast. They will be so much faster than me. So definitely, but you can email me, email the support team. Oh, Thank you so much, Marianne.
And
I
Lori,
was
how long will we keep the how long will we keep the course open? So if they still want to play some more with it.
um we can probably, if it's not bothering you, Chip, and your sections, we'll just leave it open for a few months if that works. Couple of months.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, let's do 2 months. We'll leave it open until the end of October. And in fact, I'm going to write myself a note so I don't close it.
Or you guys can use it as a sandbox, just a practice area, so you don't really mess up yours. And then once you have it, it's not that difficult to actually move it into your own course.
Yeah. Yeah, the nice part is that anytime you add something to your course, you act well.
Yes, you
Yeah,
can.
that would be the case here too, right? Yes, because they're teachers in here. It actually gets saved in your create section. And so you can add things easily into any of your courses. Yes, you can definitely play in your own courses as well. You bet.
Yeah, you
Absolutely.
customize it to fit. It's just like my first unit with Intro to Software Tech. We do digital citizenship. So I take the CodeHS one. It's not part of it's in the intro thing. And I just, I like this lesson. This one I don't need. I'm going to customize this one, do it myself. And I do all that and then go from there.
Yeah, you can definitely try any of this on your own in your own courses. So I did just throw a whole bunch of links in there, and you'll all get these links again. So don't worry and think, why is she doing this? It's in chat. I'll make sure you get these links. But if you're interested in doing taking your CodeHS educator status to the next level, you can always become a CodeHS certified educator. That was something I was super proud of when that program came out, that I jumped into that right away. But that's another great program. If you'd like to check out some more CodeHS workshops that are coming up, we actually have a lot listed right now. We have a ton of back to school ones, and they're really short. We like to make them bite-sized this time of year because we know you don't have a lot of time. So if you want to check out that list, you can head out to codehs.com/free PD, register for any and all, and you can get registered for those. Also, I did add into the question parking lot as well. I put the link to the summer virtual workshop playlist. We had so many amazing virtual workshops this summer. Chip actually did a couple of those for us this summer. We had a ton of other teacher trainers too. But if you want to see all those recordings, you can head out to codehs.com/virtualpd22, and that will take you to the YouTube playlist. Oh, and Chip, you said you're at the end, well, almost at the end of your third week, right?
Yeah, we started on a Thursday. So, yeah, I guess this was the end of week 3.
So my previous district just started school yesterday. And I always think, wow, what happened to the days when it was after Labor Day? That's a long ago fantasy. So, oh my God.
They got us all started. Just about every school system starts within the first week of August.
Wow, that just seems so early. So, but yeah, check out those links, and definitely if you want to join the CodeHS community on Slack, you can absolutely do that as well. We have some upcoming workshops on the next slide, Chip, if you want to click that. So we also, we do, just a little break until next week. Is that next week? Yes, next week. Getting started with CodeHS. This is going to be a short one. Both of these are actually just 30 minutes long. So you'll want to pop into Getting Started with CodeHS on Tuesday, August 30th at 5 Central, 6 Eastern. And we also have the APCSA course checklist on the very next day, Wednesday, August 31st at 1:30 Central, 2:30 Eastern. If those times do not work for you, register. We will send you the follow-up information with the recording for those. And you can find all of those at codehs.com/freepd. Also, I have been talking to teacher trainers and arranging for more workshops from teacher trainers. I think those are some of my favorites. I love our team, but I love hearing from teachers who are current teachers who are in the field. You're in the classroom, you know what works, and you've got the best ideas. So be watching for those. We're going to have some more of those listed very soon. Let's go ahead. I think we are just about done. We've got one more link. If you've attended a workshop with us before, you know what this one is. If you could take just a moment to let us know how we did. Go ahead and browse to codehs.com/workshop survey. You can click on the link in chat and let us know how we did tonight. And let us know what else you'd like to see. That's one of the places we head first to see, all right, what else can we do? What are some ideas that they might have for us? So definitely fill that out and let us know what you'd like to see. And oh, awesome, Marianne, I'm excited. I'm glad you're coming to more workshops. So perfect. And I think that's probably it. I bet I see thank you on the next slide, Chip. Ah, I do. I see thank you. So Chip, I'm going to say first of all, thank you to you. I am continuously impressed and inspired every single time we talk, every single time I get to be at one of your workshops. I can promise all of you what I'm going to do after this is I'm going to go play with stuff. Chip always reminds me about some of my books that I need to take a look at. Yeah, I thank you again, Chip. This has been awesome. You can all expect to see more workshops coming from Chip. Also, thank you to all of you for coming tonight. We know this is a busy time of year, and you've got so many other things to do and other choices, and you chose to hang out with us for an hour. So thank you for that. And don't worry if you've missed any part of the workshop. I will be sending out a follow-up. It'll be sometime tomorrow. It might be by tomorrow afternoon. It takes me just a little bit to edit that video and upload it. And once that's done, I'll send you all the follow-up, and you will all have access to that course. And you will be able to join as a teacher and try out some of those tools. So, and I think I interrupted somebody. Did somebody have a question? I see a CodeHS t-shirt. You are representing, my friend. I love it. I have one too. It's just harder to see. So 10 years. Awesome. I love it. Love seeing that white t-shirt around. Cool. All right. Hey, and I'm going to just throw into chat one more time in case you cannot wait for me to send the email. I'm going to grab this link. And the link that I just tossed into chat is it says questions, but it's the question parking lot and all of the links. So everything's there. And of course, if you've got any questions at all, you can always reach out to me anytime. So I love hearing from our CodeHS educators. Okay. Thank you all again. Tomorrow is Friday, so you have made it through another week. Woohoo! Make sure to Marianne, you know, it's all good. I didn't even think it was till you mentioned that. So no, email me as much as you want. I love hearing from all of you. So that is perfect. But thanks, everybody. I thoroughly enjoy these and want you all to have a great Friday. Have a relaxing weekend. Please get away from school for a while and take a breather. Hopefully. All right. We will see you all very soon at the next CodeHS workshop. Bye, everybody.